Hi, boys and girls. This is Karen Kolbe coming to you as Mother Goose. As Mother Goose, I like to go into the schools and I like to read to boys and girls. Do you like to have someone read to you? I always read to my boys when they were growing up, and I like to go into the schools and read to children in school. Feathers comes with me because he likes to listen. Have you ever heard anyone say, "Look before you leap"? Sometimes maybe mom or dad say, "Now look before you leap." That means before you do something, you stop and think about it, and think about whether or not that would be a good idea to do, or maybe you should stop and think. This story is called Look Before You Leap. Some of the ways that you should look before you leap, we'll talk about after the story. Here's a picture of Mickey. And again, this comes from Mickey's Clubhouse. Here's Mickey. Oh, and what's this up here? It's a frog. Frogs leap, don't they? They leap really far. Let's see what happens in this story. Mickey and Goofy are enjoying a quiet game of chess. Just as Mickey is about to make a move, something soars through the window and lands right in the middle of the chessboard. It is green. It has webbed feet. It says, "Ribbit, ribbit." It's a frog, a very jumpy frog. And here's a picture. They're sitting at the chessboard playing, and here's a frog right in the middle of their chessboard. Let's see what happens. Plop. The frog leaps right onto the silly switch, and Mickey tries to grab the frog, but it leaps toward the kitchen sink. Kersplash! "You really should look before you leap," Mickey says to the frog. "What are we going to do about this big puddle?" Goofy asks. "Oh, Toodles," Mickey calls, "we need some mouse-tools, and we need them right away, please." And here they are. The frog had leaped right up onto the kitchen sink and turned the water on, and they have a big puddle of water on the floor in the kitchen. Let's see what they use. "The mop is the right tool for this job," said Mickey. Mickey's hard work makes Goofy hungry. He decides to make lunch. Just then the frog takes a giant leap toward Goofy's sandwich. Squish! "Stop," cries Mickey, as Goofy is about to take a bite of his sandwich. "You really should look before you leap," Goofy says to the frog. "And I should look before I take a bite." Here is Goofy with the frog in his sandwich. Oh my goodness, boys and girls. Goofy carries the frog outside. I have him. I have him. Oops, I don't have him," said Goofy, as the frog leaps right toward Daisy's painting. Splat! "You should look before you leap," Daisy said, as paint splatters all over. "Hey there, little friend," Mickey says to the frog. "Slow down." But it's too late. The frog leaps out from behind Daisy's painting and heads straight toward Mickey's bicycle. Boing! It zooms down the road, holding tightly to the handlebars. It's headed for a cliff. "Oh no!" Goofy shouts. "Oh, Toodles!" yells Mickey. "We need you." Here's a picture. The frog is on the bike, heading for a cliff. Oh no. "The lasso is the right tool for this job," says Mickey. "Thanks, Toodles." Toodles is their friend who always comes through with the right tools that they need to help them. Mickey and Goofy carefully pull the bicycle back from the edge of the cliff. "I think we should help our friend the frog find a nice, safe pond," Mickey says. "Then he can leap around without causing any trouble." The frog jumps up and down in agreement. Then he hops away down the road with Mickey and Goofy following fast behind him. Here's the frog. Here are Mickey and Goofy pulling the bike away from the edge of the cliff to save The frog and the bike. And they did it, didn't they, boys and girls? The frog starts hopping in front of a pizzeria. Just as Mickey reaches for him, the frog leaps right onto a pizza pie. Swoosh! You should look before you leap, shouts the man behind the counter. The frog stops for a moment to clean himself off. Then he hops down the main street, headed right toward Minnie and Pluto. The frog takes a great big leap and lands right inside Minnie's goldfish bowl. Splash! The big wave makes the goldfish fly right out. One more big leap and the frog is out of the goldfish bowl too. We need some help, Goofy sighs. Oh, Toodles, Mickey calls. The net is the right tool for this job, says Mickey. Thanks, Toodles. Finally, the friends are able to catch up to the frog and place him safely in the net. He seems sad, Goofy says. I think you're right, Goofy. Then Mickey looks ahead and sees something that makes him and the frog smile. I think we've found just the right place for you, Froggy, Mickey says. And here they are. Here's Goofy and Pluto and Mickey and Minnie. And here's the sad little frog in the net. He does look sad, boys and girls. The friends walk quickly down the street toward the fountain. Carefully, Mickey places the net on the ground and begins to lift the frog out. But the frog is impatient. Out he hops, headed straight for the... where's he going? Fountain. The frog lands with a swoosh right next to another frog, a lady frog. Ribbit, ribbit, he says. Ribbit, ribbit, she replies. Maybe we didn't find a pond, says Mickey, but we did find a good place for him to splash and to leap. We found the frog a friend, too, notices Minnie, and they look very happy to see each other. I think your goldfish is happy, too, Minnie, adds Goofy. Her goldfish is back in the bowl. It's safe now. Later, while Donald, Minnie, and Daisy make dinner, Mickey and Goofy get back to their game of chess. Come on, Mickey, Goofy said. Hurry up. You haven't made a move in a long time. I know, replies Mickey. I just want to make sure that I look carefully before I leap. Okay, boys and girls, look before you leap. What are some of the things that you might have to look before you leap? Stop and think. What about if you are walking and you have to cross the street? First, you should probably have your mom or your dad or a big brother or big sister with you so that it's very, very safe. And then before you walk across the street, you have to look both ways to make sure that there aren't any cars coming. Also, you have to look at the light if there's a light there. If the light says red, you have to stop, remember. And you will learn that as you are walking around. But always, always cross and look before you cross. Another time is if you're walking around a swimming pool and you're all ready to get in. You have to look and see how deep it is. And usually around the outside of a swimming pool, they'll have a shallow end. That means it's not very deep. And then they'll have a deep end. And around the pool, it'll say maybe 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, 9 feet. You have to know and you have to watch, because before you leap in or jump in, you have to know how deep it is and how good a swimmer you are. And again, at a swimming pool, you should always have somebody with you who can swim with you and watch while you are swimming. That is a very good rule. Another time that you should look before you leap, if you fill the bathtub up with water. and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. Before you stick your foot in, you should test the water. You might stick your finger in just a little bit and make sure it's not too hot before you put your foot in or sit down in it. You have to check the temperature. I mean, that's important too. There are lots of times that before you do something, you have to stop and think, now should I check this? To be safe, I should check this. Can you remember that, boys and girls? Good, I hope so. So remember, look before you leap. Remember Mr. Froggy. Look before you leap.